Alright, I have just bought a salvage title Audi S3.
Yeah, I've been wanting this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra.
I bought this car from a salvage auction website called Manheim in Australia that deal with written off vehicles. This is a repairable write-off, meaning it can be put back on the road.
If you've ever been in an accident and dealt with insurance, you might have found out that if the insurance company deems it not financially viable to fix your car, they'll pay you out for the value of the car. The insurance company then sell what remains of the car at auction to the public to either get fixed and put back on the road or to be used as parts.
As you can see, all the damage is located at the front of the car. The damage isn't too bad and it looks like it's going to be a pretty cheap fix, but there is one big problem. We'll talk about that later. Starting off with the obvious. Both the front headlights are missing. This radiator support is bent and cracked in multiple different places. Here. The crash bar looks pretty dented in. We've got, I actually don't know if this is a oil cooler or coolant. Anyway, that's hit on the side. This is the vent on the left-hand side that's missing. If you're looking at the quarter panel, this is bent down here, but I think this is salvageable. On the right-hand side, it's a little bit different. It's not so bent at the front, but there is definitely a bit of a kink. You can feel that it's rolled outwards on the inside, but I think this is salvageable out of panel beaters. Aside from that, the hood is pretty twisted up. I don't want to put it down because it is scratching against the inside there, but also you can see that it's bowed out here as well. I don't think that's salvageable. We'll get a new one anyway because I don't really think that everything's going to line up even if it's straightened out. The hinges, I don't know whether or not they're straight, the bonnet hinges, but I think we'll get some new ones anyway. Here is the front bumper that was in the back of the car. And as you can see, things are looking a little bit skew-if. It actually, at first glance, I thought it wasn't too bad. However, this side is bent inwards. I don't know whether or not like maybe a heat gun and pulling it out will fix that. But the big sort of problems are, one, there's a little crack in here that I think a panel shop could fix, but the more significant problem is actually that crack just there. So I don't know how bad that would be to repair. At this point, I'm calling this a loss. It did arrive with the battery running, thank God. And under here, I've got both headlights. Let's take them out and have a look. Okay, so I've got some good news and some bad news. Both of the headlights were in the car, thankfully, and they don't look too damaged. The big thing is that all the electronics were still inside of them. They are both damaged, the right one probably being the worst of the two, because as you can see here, the actual mount where you bolt it to the car has snapped off. Apart from that though, it does look pretty good. On the left side, again, all the electronics are there. You can see here where they've marked out the damage on the headlight, but if you have a look, it's literally just the smallest scuff mark here, and on the bottom here, like, it's fine. The only significant bit on this is actually a crack in the bottom side just there, which is actually quite frustrating because I only just realized that one. So absolute worst case scenario, you know, we buy some donor headlights and swap everything over that don't already have the electronic pieces in them. At this point, you might be thinking, what did I get the car for? Did I get ripped off? And what is that bad damage? I'm gonna show you the bad damage in just a second, but first I wanna tell you a little bit about the car and take you inside. So this Audi is a 2017 Audi S3 that's pretty much fully optioned with everything except for the power seats for some reason. I don't know why you pay for every option except for that, but hey. If you're gonna spend this much on a car, I don't understand why you wouldn't also opt in for the electric seats. This really bothers me, but I might have a solution. All right, so sitting in this car, it literally smells like a brand new car. The seats are in prime condition. The interior, all in all, is in quite good shape. There's still some dirt in the old plates. What's this? Guzman Y Gomez. In here, I've got a little Jesus card that looks severely sun damaged. Looks like the top of a cologne bottle. And in the glove box, nothing. If we turn it on, that seemed to come out really slow for some reason. I could hear that motor going, but anyway. All right, so the faults on the dash, as you can see, we've got 29,000. This car's done just shy of 30,000 Ks. We've got the panoramic sunroof, vehicle lights. Obviously, we've got no front lights connected. None of the airbags have actually gone off in this car, which is a really, really good thing. All right, so if we're looking through faults, switch engine off, check coolant levels, see owner's manual, adaptive lights, add washer fluid, vehicle lights faults, safety system faults, see owner's manual. I don't have a scan tool at the moment, but I will buy one and we'll go from there. But all in all, the faults seem pretty standard. So this is my solution to the powered seats issue. This is my 2017 Audi A3 Sportline. And in this car, we have powered seats. So this car has been my daily driver for the past 2 to 3 years and has 120,000 Ks on it. And this car has 30,000 Ks on it. So in here, no coolant in there whatsoever. All right, so this does have oil in it. Does look a little bit black. Oh no, it actually looks pretty clean. Happy about that. Everything up until now looks pretty fixable, and you know, largely it is. But there is one thing that makes this car maybe not worth saving, and here it is. Right here is the crash bar. Right here is what I believe to be a chassis rail. This mark right here is a mark identifying some sort of damage. Now, I can't see any damage on this actual chassis rail. However, this was marked as structural damage in the PPSR check, which means that is a problem and really not a great one. So the chassis rail is a structural part of the car, which means that if it's bent, we need a panel beater to help either straighten it out, or if it's really bad, we actually need to drill out all of the spot welds that hold this to the frame of the car and cut it out and put a new one in, which actually is a massive job because it means engine out. I'll speak to a panel beater about it, but I am really hoping that we can just get a chain in around this bit and bend it out. First things first though, we should actually work out whether or not it is bent. So I've got a measuring tape and I'm gonna measure from corner to corner and see if there's any different measurements to see if it comes back bent or not. That's not bent, measuring from there to there, but that is definitely not the way to do it, and I got no idea what I'm doing. So I'm gonna search up some videos and then I'll do it again. We'll find out in the next video. Now, I did say this thing starts. We've got oil in it, got no coolant, so I'm not gonna leave it on for too long, but here it goes. In the next video, we're going to have an itemized list of everything wrong with this thing, and we're going to speak to a panel beater to see just how bad that chassis rail is. We've got big plans for this thing. I want it to make at least 400 horsepower when it's done, and I want it to look great while doing it. Let me know what you think. Did I make a mistake? And is there anybody in the Gold Coast that can fix this chassis leg? Who should I call? Everything's pretty fixable. I'm not too worried about it.